Hi, everyone, and welcome to our session on Aurigo software and Autodesk and how we're transforming the capital program and construction landscape by bringing owners, designers, and contractors closer together and bridging the gaps that exist between the phases of the capital program lifecycle. I'm Richard Kramer, Head of Marketing at Aurigo Software, and I'm joined today by our Chief Technology Officer, Kevin Koenig. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Richard. How are you? Delighted to be here today.
Yeah, it's great. We hope everyone is enjoying the conference so far. And over the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be showing you a few of the cool things that we're doing with our friends over at Autodesk and explain why we're so excited about our partnership with them. Before we begin, however, please take note of our safe harbor statement. Reminding you that what you see today includes future plans and ideas that are currently under development. So please make any purchasing decisions you make based on what is available in our products today and not based on something that may or may not come out in the future. We'd like to take you through a brief introduction of who Aurigo is, and how this partnership with Autodesk offers something unique to the marketplace, and then some of the details of how we intend to integrate our products in the future. But first, let's start at the kind of 50,000-foot level. And Kevin, can you explain why Aurigo and Autodesk entered into this strategic alliance earlier in the year?
Sure can, Richard. So first, let me just say that we're delighted to be partnered with Autodesk. We think that together we're going to offer a set of value propositions to our customers that will be unparalleled in the market. First, I think Autodesk really doesn't need any introductions. They are the world-leading design tool automation software platform in the industry. What Aurigo does is we've been focusing on capital project and capital program management solutions for our customers, specifically targeted as owners. But the two companies together bring the design and construction management software from Autodesk, the capital planning and project financial solution, really tying together an end-to-end digital life cycle that'll add value to all of our customers across the entire project life cycle, from the day that you think about a project to the day that you deliver it to your customers, and even to the day that the product is, the infrastructure asset is decommissioned in the marketplace.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. And I must say it's been great working with the team over at Autodesk for the last 6 months or so.
I would agree.
So a short introduction to Aurigo software and how we've been helping infrastructure and private owners reimagine success for their capital programs for the last 16, 17 years. So Aurigo was founded in 2003, really to bring infrastructure into the 21st century. And we work with folks who build roads, transit infrastructure, ports and airports, water distribution, water treatment, and so on. And our solutions enable owners to deliver the highest quality capital assets on time and within budget. We've been growing steadily over the years and are now the premier enterprise level solution for folks who are looking for a modern way to manage their capital program. We're based in Austin, Texas. We have about 350 full-time employees, and we were recognized this year as one of North America's fastest growing privately held companies by Inc. magazine. Here's a selection of some of the customers we work with. As I mentioned, the majority are in civil engineering and the public works space. And our products are used pretty broadly across the market, from some of the largest capital programs on the continent being executed by some of the DOTs you see up there, or the Ministry of Transportation in Ontario, all the way down to smaller programs run by local and regional agencies. And we also work with engineering and program management folks, the folks who serve that infrastructure market as well. Our flagship product, Masterworks, provides a suite of software for the entire capital program lifecycle, from planning and programming to project management, construction administration, contract administration, all the way to maintaining and operating those capital assets once they've actually been put in place. A lot of what we offer is unique, and we believe we're the only provider that covers this broad range of solutions for capital owners. Our products all run on the Masterworks cloud platform, offering configurable workflow management, document management, reporting and dashboarding capabilities, and mobile applications across all the products in our suite. Now, as Kevin said, Autodesk hardly needs any introduction to our audience, I think. For decades, they've been a household name in design software, from AutoCAD back in the day to Revit and sort of 3D building information modeling that has become so ubiquitous in the 21st century. And we really believe our product suites are complementary. And to explain this a little bit more, I'm going to hand back to Kevin.
So if you take a look at Autodesk's traditional market, and again, as Richard said, they are the largest software provider for construction management tools in the industry. But they've typically focused on the design phase all the way through to the operate phase. They really haven't focused on the planning and choosing which projects are the best fit for a specific organization. And the reason that we partnered together was to take the strengths of the Aurigo platform around capital planning and project management and project financials and add it to the overall suite and create a combined solution that delivers end-to-end value. And as you see this slide, we're really adding that program management piece to the overall solution, and of course, fleshing out various different capabilities across the entire life cycle. What that means is that if you double click on that, what that will drive to is adding the ability to maintain capital projects, do program management for our public sector customers, deliver project management and fund analysis, all the way through into the design tools that Autodesk is so strong on in design and authoring, design collaboration, model clash, moving into planning. And when we say planning here, we don't mean capital planning, we need project planning, of course. And that's about making sure that what you're going to build is buildable, coordinating the model, figuring out what quantities, doing the bidding, qualification, moving into construction, where you're actually executing the construction project, and then again into operations, maintaining the life cycle from an asset perspective. All of this riding on a common shared data platform. And this is really where the key value proposition is going to come in between the two companies. Aurigo, in the capital planning phase and project management phases, has a tremendous amount of digital data around a project, both from its scope to its project cost, etc. Autodesk, the design and the modeling tools that Autodesk brings to the picture, has a full digital view of what that construction project will look like. Now, in a typical environment today, in between the capital planning and design and planning phases, you will actually, render into PDFs. You'll have a whole set of flat drawings that were based off of a model, and therefore you lose all that data fidelity. With Autodesk and Aurigo coming together, our goal is to deliver an end-to-end digital lifecycle. In other words, the data from the day that you think about a project to even before you define the project scope, all the way through to the time that you deliver that project from an operating asset to the time that project actually the asset gets decommissioned, the data never gets flattened, or you never lose data fidelity. And that's really the value proposition that we'd like to bring to our customers with this partnership.
Yeah, it's interesting, Kevin. One of the challenges that a lot of our customers face when they're managing a large capital program is just all the data that the projects create, and just keeping that in one place in an organized fashion.
Yeah, Richard, thanks for bringing that up. I think it's important to note that once you create this end-to-end digital lifecycle that Autodesk and Aurigo are trying to bring to the market, you get a couple of things, a couple of real benefits from an end user perspective. The first, as I mentioned already, is the shared data platform. And that's basically, as you said, having all the data in one spot, but not just data in one spot, data that's correlated from each phase to phase. But what that really enables, if you look at it from an end user perspective, is this ability to bring insights. So if you look at the bottom of the screen right there, insights is really about taking the data, the millions and millions of bytes of data, and leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning and drawing insights from that data to help you make decisions based off of valuable information rather than just millions of bytes of data.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the next level I think everybody's trying to get to. So let's dive in a little bit and look at three specific ideas that we're either exploring or already have been released to the marketplace with this partnership that Aurigo and Autodesk have undertaken. And for our purposes, we're just calling them A, B, and C. And let's talk about the A first, which is integrating the Autodesk design tools into our Masterworks cloud platform. So go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. So if you look at what we're trying to do here, and this is actually a common problem that our customers have been telling us for a long time, and one of the main reasons that we partnered with Autodesk. The people who are choosing which projects to build and the people who are doing the conceptual design and in fact the detailed design, they don't actually share a common set of tools. They use very independent tools. There's a lot of email, Excel files, and PDF files being passed back and forth between the various team members. What this integration will allow you to do is, take the project information about what this project is about out of Masterworks, seamlessly deliver it to your engineering and or designers, allow the designers to do their job in the tools of choice, Autodesk, InfraWorks, Revit, Civil 3D, whichever type of infrastructure you're trying to build. And then again, enabling that collaborative design effort by allowing model visualization inside of Masterworks, extraction of quantities for conceptual budgeting, things like that. So really, again, maintaining that digital life cycle between two distinct and separate teams, enabling better collaboration, much more accurate estimating, and I'm sure many more value propositions from an end user perspective.
Right. So if I can just restate that. So the benefit to the planning organization is that they're able to see sort of downstream in the process without necessarily needing first-hand access to the design, the conceptual design tools. What would you say the benefit is for the engineers working on those conceptual designs with a solution?
Yeah, that's first of all, yes, what you said is exactly true. It's a much simpler way to visualize what the benefits are from a design perspective. If you look at it from an engineering perspective, right now the way project information typically gets passed back and forth is via an Excel file or a set of emails. What this integration will allow you to do is have the engineers pull that digital data right out of Masterworks, which will define the project scope, the overall goals of this project, the location from a geospatial perspective, and allowing them to get all that information directly into the design tool of choice. I think the next value proposition really crosses both teams is allowing the designers and the planners to collaborate on that project as they go through revision processing, to either do automated design reviews or even collaboration on the scope of the project, scope and cost, which is always a trade-off between how much you want to spend and what infrastructure you can build.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, collaboration, trying to get away from the separate files and the emails that always go back and forth is another key challenge.
And I think the final value proposition, and you don't have to go back, is really about having all of that information in one system. The fact that you're doing all that collaboration end to end inside the system means all that data remains available and you don't have emails being passed back and forth. Your system of truth or your system of record becomes this integrated data platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I can never find anything in my email, so maybe that's just me.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about our B integration. What this is taking some of those, those core capabilities that we as Aurigo have in the owner marketplace, particularly around project management, construction administration, and then also our capital planning and programming tools, and marrying them with the tools that are available in the Autodesk Construction Cloud today. So tell us a little bit more about that, Kevin.
Yeah, so I sure will. So I think it's important, before I even describe what Autodesk and Aurigo are bringing together, is really talk about actually this concept of, there are a lot of tools out in the marketplace for construction management. Some of them focus on contractors, some of them focus on owners. Aurigo is typically focused on the owner marketplace, and Autodesk has had a mixture of owner and contractor tools. By bringing these tools together in what we call the B product suite, we will have an end-to-end product that, again, delivers capital planning and full life cycle construction management, but not just for owners and not just for contractors. To have owners and contractors come together into a single digital workspace, being able to collaborate again on design tools, as we talked about in the previous solution, bringing those into construction management solutions that Aurigo and Autodesk both provide, and then also enabling access to contractors to collaborate in this single digital workplace. Now, that'll span all the features that you can read out on the screen around the capital planning features that we talked about, construction project management, budgeting, cash flow, project documentation and field documentation, like the RFIs and issues and risk management. So really that end-to-end digital construction life cycle as you move from planning into construction and asset creation.
Yeah, and we already have customers. Obviously, Aurigo has been working in the public sector for a long time. Can you give us a few examples of customers who are using this kind of end-to-end platform for their capital program today?
Yeah, I sure can. And in fact, right in the hometown that we're talking to right now, Wisconsin Department of Transportation is one of our largest customers. They're using our tool to do online collaboration with their contractors, specifically around contract management for consultant contracts and construction management. They're also leveraging our planning tools. So again, planning into the bidding process of consultant service contracting, into the construction management process for their construction project. So really an end-to-end digital life cycle. We also think that there's tremendous value in integrating the Autodesk tools into Wisconsin Department of Transportation, as they're also an Autodesk design tool customer. So they leverage Autodesk tools today for building road infrastructure and things like that. So we see tremendous value propositions in Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Some of the other larger customers that we're working with are Utah Department of Transportation, Nevada Department of Transportation, Montana, Iowa Department of Transportation. So a lot of very large infrastructure providers, but that's actually not the whole story. A lot of the large cities and counties in the country are using Aurigo Masterworks to build their capital infrastructure, both from a planning perspective all the way through a project implementation.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We've been pretty lucky to have the list of customers that we have who are all doing exciting things and modernizing their program, doing it in the best way. So the third integration idea that we're going to talk about is connecting one of the Construction Cloud products, PlanGrid, specifically to our Masterworks platform. And this is actually an integration that is actually live today and has benefits for both the owner and the contractor, we believe. So Kevin, talk a bit about how that works.
Yeah. So first, I think I'll step back and just draw a distinction between our B solution, where we're creating one solution that's end-to-end integrated, to this solution. So we recognize that there are many instances where there are separate organizations that each are going to buy their own tools. But that the challenge when every organization has their own tools is that passing information back across organizational boundaries becomes a real issue. And tends to be a lot of rekeying of information, retyping of information. This, what we call the C solution, is really about allowing the premier tool being used by contractors, which is PlanGrid, recently acquired by Autodesk about a little over a year ago, to seamlessly integrate over the cloud using a connector technology that we built jointly and pass information back and forth between these two separate systems seamlessly, again, removing that barrier of data entry and information sharing. So it has a lot of benefits from an owner perspective. The owner basically allows the GC to easily pass information, leverage mobile technology from PlanGrid and field documentation from PlanGrid, removes errors, streamlines data communication between the two organizations. And again, same kind of value propositions from a contractor perspective. The contractors that are using PlanGrid already are primarily paperless. However, when they want to collaborate with the owners, either via an RFI or an issue or plan collaboration, right now they're using email back and forth. With the advent of our connector between Aurigo, Masterworks, and PlanGrid, they'll now be able to take that information that they're managing in their tool of choice, in this case PlanGrid, seamlessly pass it through our cloud connector when appropriate, with the proper data sharing limitations, because they're two separate organizations, have that information flow into Masterworks, have the owner process that information in whatever process that they have internally, and then share results back with the contractor, again, with clear and defined delineation of when that information flows between the two organizations. So we think that this is, as you said, Richard, this is available now. We're working with quite a few of our joint customers and deploying this. And all of these organizations are seeing tremendous value in that seamless sharing of information across RFIs, documents, submittals, issues. If we just kind of double click down one level, this is kind of a high level view of how information flows. On the owner side, they're using Masterworks in their daily process. They already have it deployed. They're not really changing anything in their daily process. The contractor is using PlanGrid, again, seamlessly using PlanGrid to manage the day-to-day construction lifecycle and field documentation with no change. What we've added is this cloud-based connector built upon what's called PlanGrid Connect, or will be called Autodesk Construction Cloud Connect. And once you hook these two systems up, information just starts flowing between the two systems at appropriate times based off of predefined workflows, allowing the owner and the contractor to seamlessly collaborate while using the tools of their choice.
Yeah, that's great, Kevin. And, we launched this a number of weeks ago, and already the response we've got from the market is very encouraging. I think anything that, helps owners and contractors work better together is certainly valuable.
Yeah, I think also, you just thinking to the audience that we're speaking to today, when you look at it from a design, architect, and engineering perspective, if you're an external engineering firm and you want to share your BIM models and plans between yourself and the owner, just leveraging the Autodesk BIM 360 document management capability and sharing those plans seamlessly between Masterworks and yourselves will have tremendous value, even with the specific audience.
Absolutely. All right, I think that concludes our presentation today. So thanks, Kevin, for doing this with me. A lot of great info, I think, for our audience. We're going to actually take some questions from our audience now, but before we do so, if you would like to learn more about Aurigo or about our strategic alliance with Autodesk, you can find us on the web at aurigo.com, or just email us at sales@aurigo.com. So let's take a look at some of the questions we've been getting.